You are tuned into a special player spotlight interview on the CS Podcast.
Welcome to another episode of the CS Podcast presented by the NUC NFL Draft Bible, bringing you the names that you need to know first since 2002. Visit NFLDraftBible.com. I'm your guys' host, Chris Shanafel, and joining the show now for a player spotlight interview is another one of the top wide receivers coming out of the MAC. Last week we had Tajae Sharpe of UMass, and now tonight it is a pleasure to welcome onto the show Jordan Williams of Ball State University. Thanks for taking some time this evening, Jordan. Can you believe that your time at Ball State has already come and gone, and now here you are getting ready to gear up for the 2016 NFL Draft?
No, not really. You know, things happen really fast. You know, of course, we weren't bowl eligible, so that brought the season to an end really fast. But it's been fun, man. I really enjoyed it, and look forward to the next step.
Absolutely. Now, talk about making that decision to attend Ball State University coming out of high school. I mean, were you highly recruited coming out of North Central High School? And why did you ultimately choose to attend Ball State and play for the Cardinals?
I wasn't really highly touted. You know, we were in the major conference in Indianapolis, but, you know, our school wasn't as successful as we could have been on the football field. We were more of a basketball school. But when I was getting recruited, I was originally getting recruited by IU, where Billy Lynch was, and then he ended up moving on, and he referred me to Joey Lynch at Ball State. And Joey Lynch had made a lot of appearances at the high school and came by the house, and they really showed interest. So I ended up making that decision after my senior year, and it's been a blessing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't think I think you certainly made the right decision. Obviously, I think it's safe to say that your time at Ball State was very impressive, to say the least. Now, as a freshman, Jordan, you were able to see the field in 8 games, though you weren't much of a focal point in the offense until your sophomore year, when you actually reeled in 72 receptions for over 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns. What would you attribute that jump in production to? I mean, normally it takes guys a few years to put up those kind of numbers. That wasn't the case for you.
You know, my freshman year I did a lot of special teams, and, you know, we were kind of deep at receiver, and all it really took was opportunity. And once the opportunity came, I got the chance to join the high-power offense with former quarterback Keith Winning, Willie Snead. We had Juwan Edwards in the backfield. We had Jamil Smith, another receiver, and Zane Fakes. You know, we were really talented, so being able to be a part of that was really just fun and a blessing.
And talk about playing with that talent. You know, obviously a lot of those guys have moved on to play at the next level. I mean, Willie Snead, I mean, that guy has been Drew Brees' top target, it seems like, there in New Orleans this season. Absolutely great to see, because I absolutely loved Willie Snead coming out a couple of years ago, entering the draft. You know, was with the Cleveland Browns, was with the Carolina Panthers, and it looks like those teams messed up big time, seeing what he's able to do with in New Orleans. So overall, I mean, talk about playing with those NFL caliber players that early on in your collegiate career.
It was really an honor, man, because, you know, they had the work ethic of those players that I played with was out the roof, you know, and just getting the chance to see that and seeing what I had to do to even have a chance was really just good to see. And Willie, they don't know a lot about his struggle, but he really had to work for it, and it definitely paid off, and you can see it now on TV and everything. So I'm glad to see him doing that, and hopefully Keith Winning gets an opportunity in these near future with even Jonathan Newsom at the Colts. Yep. You know, he bought out his rookie year, and, you know, that's big time just to be able to put Ball State on the map.
I believe it was actually just yesterday or maybe the day before. I believe I seen that Keith Winning actually just signed with the Cincinnati Bengals active roster.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You get an opportunity, and that's all it takes.
Exactly, and you obviously know that very well. I mean, it just takes one opportunity, and like I said, I mean, you really balled out that sophomore year, and you really haven't looked back since. As a junior, you were still the team's leading receiver. Obviously, the production went down a little bit. You recorded 56 receptions, 750 yards, and 6 touchdowns, but it seems as if you guys ran the ball a little bit more that 2014 season. You know, no more Wenning, no more Snead, and you know, when you do have a back like Jawan Edwards, who can blame you? As a wide receiver, I mean, talk about your blocking ability, and is it something that you take pride in?
Yeah, the coaches I've had have kind of forced me to do that, and it's really been good, because a lot of times when the running back is running, it just takes one block on the perimeter to just bring them loose. So just being able to do that and allow your running back to make plays, it'll definitely turn around, and he'll definitely make that block for you when he's picking up the blitz. So it's definitely been good, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, that was your junior year. Now talk about your expectations for this past season. Your senior year, I got to think you wanted to ball out. Talk about your expectations for this past season, and looking back, I mean, you did tie your career high in receptions, 72 receptions, 920 yards, and 8 touchdowns. Are you satisfied with the season that you had this past season?
Yeah, I mean, I would say so. Of course, coming in, you want to think high, and, dealing with 2 freshman quarterbacks and, a new offensive coordinator, you kind of go through struggles. But just being able to overcome that and have a productive season, I hope that'll show off to the NFL scouts and stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Now talk about over the years. I mean, from that big sophomore season to, just this past season as a senior. I mean, did you see a difference in how opposing teams' defenses would game plan against you as you began to prove yourself more and more as a legit target for the Ball State offense?
Yeah, with the offense we had sophomore year, I was coming in as possibly like the 3rd, 4th option. So, wasn't a lot of double coverage, and Willie was the main focus, and Jamil, and just being able to get that one-on-one coverage is a lot easier. Obviously, once that time passed and I became the main target, I began to see a lot more safety over the top, cover 2-man, a lot of double teams on the backside. And I didn't think we really used the ability to, move me around, but hopefully I'll get a chance to do that at the next level.
Once again, he is the 2016 NFL Draft Prospect, Jordan Williams, wide receiver out of Ball State, joining me here on the CS Podcast presented by the NUC NFL Draft Bible, bringing you the names that you need to know first since 2002. Visit NFLDraftBible.com, and if you haven't heard this name, Jordan Williams, Ball State University, then I don't know where you've been at. Again, Jordan, I think it's pretty safe to say that you did have a damn good collegiate career. I mean, here you are now as one of the top wide receivers entering the 2016 NFL Draft. How would you describe your overall experience at Ball State?
It's been great. Every player experiences ups and downs, either statistic-wise or even injury-wise or even season-wise. But I've had a couple of great seasons here just as a team, and being able to be a part of the Ball State Cardinals and being able to join the tradition. I've had a lot of good memories here, and I wouldn't trade that for anything. And obviously, the production talks for itself as far as numbers, but it's really been a blessing. I've got to meet some good people and form some good bonds with some good people.
Yeah, no doubt. And you know what? You mentioned the production, the numbers. I mean, they say numbers don't lie. I don't know about that. I think at times numbers can lie, but when it comes to you, I mean, all they got to do is turn on that film, and that's something that doesn't lie is the film. The film does not lie, especially when it comes to Jordan Williams, wide receiver of Ball State University. Now, throughout your 4 years at Ball State playing for the Cardinals, who would you say is the best or toughest player that you've had to line up against?
I would say Eric Patterson. A lot of people don't know Eric Patterson's with the Rams right now. I don't know. He was on the active roster, but he's kind of been in between both. And when I first got to campus, I remember the first practice, he jammed me real bad, and I was like, "Oh man, I haven't experienced that." But once I've definitely made a goal to get off that jam and be able to give him back some competition. We definitely went at it for a couple of years while he was here and I was here. So he's definitely been one of the best corners I've gone against.
And hopefully we could see this go down again in the National Football League. That would sounds like when I asked you that question, it kind of brought back memories. So that's great. Now, what would you say is your biggest strength as a wide receiver? Obviously, you're a very big target, a very physical wide receiver. What would you say is your biggest strength? What would you say is something that you need to improve on as well? I'm more of a physical receiver that can, give you some downfield plays, make a play on the ball and be able to block for the run and be physical with DBs. A lot of
receivers are kind of, adapted to that finesse type of game. But, I tend to take pride in the hard playing game, being rough with the DBs, kind of letting them know what's up. And it's really paid off. But one of the things I think I could work on, you can always get better at route running and catching the ball. I don't think anybody is, perfect or the best at catching the ball. And, the people that actually work at that craft and, master it usually have a long time and a long career in the league.
Yeah, and especially when that's your job to catch the ball, to run routes. I mean, like you said, you can't be perfect at it, or at least that should be the mindset that you should have, and obviously that's the mindset that you have. Now, for those who may not be too familiar with your game, Jordan, for some reason, it seems like people, they either hate MAC football or they love it. I personally question a person's football fandom if they're not a fan of MACtion. I absolutely love it, but for those who may not be too familiar with yourself, let's say you had to compare yourself to a current player currently playing in the National Football League. Who do you think that would be and why?
That's a good question. I tend to watch Dez Bryant a lot. Just his physical game. He may not be the fastest player, but just the way he plays and the attitude he brings to the game is definitely something I look up to. And hopefully I get a chance to meet him. I'd love to do that and just, get to be a student of the game and how he plays.
I got to ask you then, man, was it a catch?
Yeah, I always, I'm going to go with Dez Bryant to the end, man.
All right, that's great. That's great. Well, hey, I'll tell you what, man, if you could turn out to be a Dez Bryant type receiver in the National Football League, I don't think there's any doubt that you would have a very nice, long career. Now, we both mentioned some of the guys that you've been able to play with. Keith Wenning, Willie Snead, Jawan Edwards, Jonathan Newsome. Quite a few of your former teammates have gotten a shot in the National Football League. Have any of those guys given you any advice as to what you should look forward to or what you should do as you look to meet them at the next level?
Yeah, they all do. I talk with all of them, not on a regular basis, but every now and then. And every now and then, they'll be back or we'll end up meeting up somewhere and getting some work in. And they just give me the rundown of how things work and just how it's different. It's a business at that level, and you kind of got to, be kind of selfish and be able to, focus on your game, focus on what you got to do as opposed to, just having fun. And, there's a lot of things going on and a lot of logistics happening. So just being able to adapt to that and really just getting the opportunity to play and make sure that you take advantage of the opportunity is really big time.
Once again, he is the wide receiver out of Ball State University, Jordan Williams, joining me here on the CS podcast presented by the NUC NFL Draft Bible as he gets set for the 2016 NFL Draft. And just a few more questions for you, Jordan, and then I'll let you go. I really do appreciate your time. It's been a pleasure chatting with you. And switching gears here now for a moment, seeing as your season has now been over for almost a month now, what have you been doing since your last collegiate game? I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it was against Bowling Green. I could be wrong. What have you been doing since that last collegiate game of yours, and what do you plan on doing from here on out until the draft comes around?
Well, I've been, getting my body right, kind of resting up and, letting the injuries or, nobody really goes through the season without wear and tear. But I've also been in the lab, just working at my craft, catching balls, working on conditioning and flexibility, just so, you don't want to waste this time and waste the chance you have, that the opportunity that you have at the next level, because it only comes once. So just really preparing for that, getting my mind right and my body right, just been my main focus, along with school. Just finishing up with school.
Oh yeah. Now, looking at your pro day, any specific numbers that you like to hit? Any specific numbers that you have in mind?
No, the 40 is just a make or break at, the size, my size of a receiver, so just being around the 4.4, 4.5 area would just really be a blessing, really pay off and pay dividends in the end when it comes to draft day.
Absolutely, and of course, as a wide receiver, that having a 4.4, 4.5 40 could help you out greatly. And I see the Ball State Athletics website has you listed at 6'3", 220 pounds. Is that accurate?
Yeah, that's true. I've definitely filled up out of these 4 years in college. It definitely changed my body.
Yeah, man, it's funny. It's funny what 4 years could do to you. That's great. Just wanted to ask because, of course, as you probably know, I mean, not all of the athletic websites update their information. So 6'3", 228 pounds, a huge target that has had a lot of success throughout his 4 years at Ball State University. Now, final question for you, Jordan. Let's say we have all 32 NFL general managers tuning in right now to this very interview. Why should they want the wide receiver Jordan Williams out of Ball State University a part of their team?
I think they want a player that's, gonna follow the rules and of course produce and be able to keep getting better. Nobody comes into the league at the pace or at the right, skill level and just take the time to get better. And I think they'll see an intelligent, smart player that's gonna go out and do whatever it takes, to help the team win. And, just being able to get that opportunity would really be a blessing. I don't think people understand what a great opportunity it is for people like us to get to play football at the next level.
Yeah, man, and you know what? I'll tell you what, I think you certainly have what it takes. And like I said, that's my final question for you, Jordan. Congratulations on wrapping up a very successful collegiate career at Ball State University. You achieved lots of things and obviously impressed many. And I'm certainly wishing you all the best as you get set for the 2016 NFL Draft.
Yes, sir. Thank you.